welcome back from that short break. It's still her moment, and I'm your host today, Asha. With me in studio is Rose. I must admit, today we are learning a lot. Women in the media, very many people out there look at women in media, yet we have difficulties at the back. These are things we do not bring to the screen, but we are literally facing them, but then we keep them by ourselves. But what are the few lessons we are learning? What are the things we are getting to know about the women in media? Yes, they have families, and yes, they still have the time to know the friends, the neighbors, and maybe the people who have been in their life. But professionalism is key. How do women in media keep boundaries? Because media is kind of tight. We face a lot of challenges, but how do we keep those boundaries? When do we know when to cross and when not to cross? How do we treat our people there? How do you treat me, or how do I treat you when I'm offset and I'm walking down the streets or walking to the market? Yes, before we went for a short break, we're talking about self-esteem. How will you have that self-actualization in you that yes, this is the time for you to step ahead, to make a step, to go forward, or to think, yes, I can do it, she can do it, and I can do it. I must admit, she's very interesting. I mean, I'm enjoying the show, and I really like the way people are taking it, because I believe this is the time to take it. Rose, we're still talking about self-esteem, and I'm really eager to listen to you about this. When did you actually realize that this is the Rose who is going to communicate, who is going to maybe walk in office and everyone is like, she has come?
I think one of the things that one has to learn.
No, before we go to what the things one has to learn, when did you
realize? Along the way, actually. I don't even remember exactly at what point, but I'll tell you, we all begin as timid young girls. You leave university, you're not confident enough, you don't know yourself, you don't know what you can do until someone throws something at you and says, go and do it. It starts with an interview, the job interview. How do they choose that this person is going to manage? And then it goes on to mentorship, the type of person who does the mentorship. And for me, it worked that way. When I left university, I didn't know what media was all about.
Yep.
I didn't know what editorial was. I didn't know what advertising media. I knew the ads that are run on media houses, but I didn't know what that...
How it comes about.
It wasn't an issue. I didn't know what audiences are.
Targeted.
Exactly, targeted audiences are. But I enter this company and I'm given a job. And the job requires me to work with people. And you're the head of department. You see, that is where it begins. First you're working alone. The next thing, you have a team. You have to learn that you have to be confident on behalf of your team. You have to show the team that, you know what, confidence is what will take you places. Your attitude is very important. The first time I went for my interview, they asked me questions that were not related to my job because they knew there was no school that teaches this kind of work. But they saw something about me, and that was a potential to be confident, really confident, because I'm the type who doesn't get intimidated easily. They ask a question, I'll answer the question. There is a challenge, I'll solve the challenge. I'm a hands-on person. Now, you can't be that if you don't have some kind of self-esteem. I believe that somebody above you, your superior, has a lot to do with you growing, especially in the corporate world, to build your self-esteem. Thank you, you did this quite well. That was a job well done. That builds your continuous self-esteem. However, before you reach that point, you as an individual have to know that you are enough. I am enough. I am created in this God's image, that I can do anything. You throw to me a challenge, I'll solve it. I don't need somebody else to come and push me to do it. I have to push myself. I personally, I think the confidence had already started because I was a student leader from all the schools that I went to. So as a student leader, you have to be confident. Otherwise, the students will intimidate you. Yeah? You go there, I'm a short woman, and you'd stand in front of all these people and they tell you, Madam, we can't see you. And you're like, okay. I mean, it has to start there. If you get intimidated, they've told me I'm short, I can't do this, then you lose your self-esteem. Or when something bad happens to you and you start pitying yourself and you tell yourself, oh, me, I'm not like her, so I can't do this, I can't do that, then you start losing your self-esteem. Your parenting as well is very important. But again, as you grow older, you don't need your parents to keep pushing you. You have to develop into a full-blown woman with confidence to handle the world. The world is a ruthless place. Yeah. It will use you. It will throw you. It will throw garbage at you. But if you wake up every day and you tell yourself, I'm going to drive, I'm going to do this myself, then you will do it. It is about self-drive. Self-esteem is not about pitying yourself, oh, I can sit back and I won't do this, I won't do that. I one time didn't know how to present. Yeah. You know, this professional presenting, I put a PowerPoint and put it there. I had a manager who taught me how to present, but he didn't teach me how to do it. He told me, let's go along. So whenever he would be going for presentations, I would tag along. And then that was his way of teaching. So I would sit and watch him present. I practically picked every word he said. Wow. I went for 3-4 presentations. I picked the words he said. Now we went to British Council to do a presentation. For the first, imagine British Council. And he told me, present. Okay. He actually told the client, Rose here is going to do the presentation. I stood up with gel in my feet. I couldn't believe I was going to present. And there are all these big people. It's a conference room with 15 people. I stood up. He told me, when you enter a room, breathe in. When you stand there, breathe in. Breathe in and breathe out. Get your confidence back. He looked at me like this. I started talking. I practically said everything he had said in the other presentation. Nothing of them was mine. But when I left that room, I realized I could move things. British Council? Me? Rose? Presenting? I was like, yeah, I can do it. I built my confidence to present from that day. I would move alone, carry my laptop, carry my projector, and go and present audience research.
From then, you never sat back on
No, I would make a call to a CEO and ask for an appointment. There is nobody going to build that confidence, that type of confidence in you apart from yourself. Somebody else will direct you to that line. But eventually it's you as a person to do it. It's that confidence that makes people fear you. Huh? Like, okay, it's a no-go zone. They draw the line themselves. So those other challenges don't actually come to you because people look at you and they're like, huh, that one. You don't bother. So you go to you've broken the boundaries. You meet ministers. You can meet the president. I mean, I've been there. So for me, I believe that it is us.
There's one thing people do forget, and I have really faced this a lot. Because when you have this confidence, like much confidence in you, then people will walk away from you.
There is what they call overconfidence. So factualization, you reach a point whereby
you see yourself somewhere.
Exactly. I think that is now very bad. And that is where, again, it's not right. Because now you become arrogant.
Exactly.
That kind of confidence brings arrogance, pride. You think you know it all, so you won't listen to anybody else. That is not right. What I'm talking about here is a certain level of confidence where you're not going to be intimidated to walk into a boardroom full of men only, all putting on these professor-looking glasses with big laptops
and they're not looking at you,
and
they're not
yes, and you have to make sure they look up. Your words that you say will make them pull off that, put their phones aside and listen to you. Yeah, that you have to build it over time. Trust me, it's over time. There are quite a number of confident people up to today that cannot stand in parliament and talk, or stand in a school of children and talk. Yeah? I believe that everybody has it in them to get that themselves out there. It's you. It begins with you.
Yeah.
I would say that. It always begins with you and your willingness to learn. You cannot learn unless your pride is lowered. You cannot learn anything unless you listen to other people. If pride comes in, you'll fail. If you think you're so famous and so beautiful that that will take you places, then it will only lead to ridicule. That's what I can say.
Wow. If you cannot learn, then you will not be there.
You can't.
I mean, even the biggest people in our country, they still learn.
They still learn.
You find the president himself
He's
holding
learning.
a book and he's really reading. He's getting something new. People, this is something that people are really forgetting.
Yes.
But living self-esteem, because just like you said, we build it in ourselves. If you do not build it, then people will underlook you.
Yes.
People will belittle you. People
Yes.
will look at you as something like, uh-oh, she cannot do it.
Exactly.
I mean, with communication, we need
You need the confidence. You need it. You need your self-esteem. I've seen presenters in this market who have made it by themselves, and you see they have respect. Despite how many people try to pull them down, they will throw that at them, they still stand strong and say, I am a woman, I am going to make this, and I'll stand above all challenges. I think it is that keeps us having that self-esteem, not pride. Pride just brings you down. Pride brings you down. I also think that our mentors, the people we look up to, are the people we learn from. It's very important to have somebody, if you're a media personality, look out for somebody you feel will teach you something. Somebody, it may not be here, but you look at this personality and you're like, yes, I want to be like that person. Emulate that person. Emulate that person. And you'll find yourself believing. There are people who say if you write a notice board of the things that you want and you put faith to it, they actually come true. I believe it's the same thing with our jobs, with our personalities and how we build our roles in media. If you love something so bad, put time to it, have a role model to guide you through it. A good role model, not a bad role model. A good role model will actually push you places. I had a lady boss. She's called Virginia. I looked at that lady like she was, There was another lady called Maggie Reri. She's Kenyan. I looked at her and I saw traits. Those two women, I think, shaped my thinking, my walk, my belief, and the fact that I wanted to be there. I just found myself there.
When you talk about that, this is something that is just dominating in the country, not only in media and any other sector of business and work and maybe family. We look at mentors.
Yes.
I, for one, actually I have a mentor as well. But she mentors me because she's a media personality. We are not at the same workplace, in a different media house. But how do we put in mentorship? Like, how do we put it in use? Because people look at it as a minor
issue.
This is something that grows you into that person you would want to be, or you would want the community, the society to see in you.
Yeah. I believe that for you as a leader, if you're given a position of responsibility, your job is to make sure that your team shines, not you. Your team has to shine because it reflects your ability to influence. If you can influence, then it reflects automatically on you. People look at you and look at your team and say, there is somebody behind that. And all of us should strive to be role models. Yeah. You have a role model somewhere else. And that person, you pick the best traits from them and pick others from other places. And also have your own internal abilities. I believe that we can go places. If we just say we are going to look out for the best in people, the best experiences from any personalities, and turn them into ours, the good ones. That's why they say if a girl misbehaves, it's the mother's fault, not the father's fault. Fathers will spoil the boys, but even when the father looks at a boy who is spoiled, they say it is the mother who spoiled the boy. So for me, I believe that all along the way, we need those people who guide you towards being the person you want to be. That's
what could be the criteria one should use or would put on the fingertips in mentorship?
With mentorship, not everybody is created as a teacher. Some people teach by lecturing. Some people teach by actually showing you. Others tell you, watch me do it. Mm-hmm. When you're doing mentorship or a mentorship program, it's mainly for the managers who make sure that the team that they are mentoring understands their task. Mm-hmm. They know what exactly, they have to be clear tasks. Those tasks are things they do on a daily basis. And they teach them new things. And they teach them not just the work, but the morals as well. On the job, you need ethics on the job. It is that person who is going to teach you those. So for me, I believe that most people who are meant to be mentors, not everybody can be a mentor. Some people you just learn by looking at them. Like I said, I have those two women. None of them ever sat me down to teach me what I do. I taught myself what I do, but I looked at their lives. There are things you pick out and you're like, I want to be like her when it comes to this. Yeah. I want to be like her when it comes to this. And there's nothing like, unless it's what we call coaching, where you're taken to a class and they teach you. Mentorship is incorporated in your daily life. How you behave with your direct reports and yourself. How you behave and with everybody else in the company. But with coaching, you have to be taught. Go for a training, they coach you how to behave. They teach you telephone etiquettes. When you pick a phone, answer like this. That is coaching. Yeah.
Well, I do enjoy mentorship because by the time you sit down with a mentor, and you really see this person is making it in life or has made it in life.
And it's very informal. So it's easy for you to take up. Yes.
Yeah, when you sit down and you watch her mentor you, she does not maybe tell you to get a book, get a pencil,
exactly,
or pen and do this.
Yes.
But there are different people who are taking it to another level. Mentorship, actually with the evolution of media, we're seeing mentorship online. Someone is on screen and is mentoring me and I'm like, okay, how sure is she that
does she know you? Exactly. Does this person know your daily life? Because the person mentoring you must know your life, how your life moves on a daily basis. Maybe not everything, but they need to know something about you. Yeah. You can't call somebody from out there and tell them, come and mentor me. Maybe teaching you certain skill. And that's why I'm saying it is coaching. Mentorship is about you learning from somebody in an informal way. Or a formal way, but not where they will put you in a class and teach you things.
Exactly. Now that brings me to the evolution of media, because this is an interesting talk and we have gotten a lot, literally, it's just a lot to learn. What are some of the few comments you'd have to, just one, to put out to the women in media, maybe this is your time, this is our time to dominate the media?
I believe the comment I would make is one simple comment. Women have the biggest opportunity to influence. As mothers of the nation, they have the opportunity to influence. Men have had their time to influence. This is the women's time to influence. Let's use the media to influence for the things that we want. We want to make sure that we influence the world. We influence in a good way the things that have gone wrong. We see the youth, they are going astray. It's the women who can turn this around. So let's have women influence. Yeah? Let the women influence the talk.
Thank you very much, Rose. I admit for the last time, this was interesting, something to learn.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming. And we look forward to having you more and more times.
Thank you.
Because this is an interesting, educating, inspiring, motivating, and many other things that we can do for you as a woman, as a lady out there. This is the only show. You have to tune in. Those of you who have just caught us in, you can still go on our social media page, that is at Rico TV Uganda, on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. You can still have the show if you have missed out. Call a friend, tell a friend. This is the only platform where we as females, we as women, have to rise up, learn, inspire the others, and make a success for ourselves. This has been her moment, and I've been your show host. This has been her moment, and I've been your show host, Asha Kulsum. We meet next time. Bye bye.